and a warm welcome to you all to the 4th Mizoram Science Congress 2022 on the theme Science and Technology for Sustainable Ecosystem. Our dream, our long-awaited event has arrived today. I thank Almighty God for His abundant grace. It is my honor and privilege to address this august gathering of scientists, engineers, research scholars, and students from school level to university level, where our Honorable Minister of State, Pulal Ruatkima, has kindly consented to grace the Mizoram Science Congress 2022 as chief guest. Welcome, sir. An honorable member of the Legislative Assembly, Pu El Thangmoya, as the guest of honor. A very heartfelt welcome to you, sir. It is also indeed an honor to have Engineer H. Dukima, Project Management Unit, Public Health Engineering Department, Government of Mizoram, who will be giving the theme speech. Although I will mention again later, Engineer H. Dukima's unit and department is our major sponsor, to whom we are extremely grateful. The Mizoram Science Congress is a biennial event that was started in the year 2016, and since then, it has been conducted every 2 years, in 2018 and 2022. In 2020. In 2020, the event was conducted in an online mode due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I am personally very happy that after 2 years of managing and living with the coronavirus, we are able to organize the 4th Mizoram Science Congress 2022 in a normal offline mode. And it gives me immense pleasure to announce that this biennial event, Mizoram Science Congress, which is the largest scientific event in the state, is a joint effort of the State Science and Technology Council, MISTIC, with other active science NGOs of Mizoram, who are the key players and stakeholders of the event. The science NGOs are Science Teachers Association, Mizoram STEM, Mizoram Science Society, MSS, Mizo Academy of Sciences, MAS, Mizoram Mathematics Society, MMS, Biodiversity and Nature Conservation Network, BioCon, Geological Society of Mizoram, GSM, and Mizoram Information and Technology Society, MITS, MITS. Please don't confuse with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. As chairman of the Mizoram Science Congress, I take this opportunity to acknowledge and express heartfelt gratitude to our sponsor and Planning and Program Implementation Department, Government of Mizoram, through the state flagship program, Socio-Economic Development Program, SEDP. We also received support from our business partners, Genesis Enterprise Millennium Center, Dorpui, Digital House Millennium Center, Dorpui, Mizoram Business Center, Tuikwal, and Trade Center, Chanmari. The event is to take place here in the Assembly Annex and Aizawl Club for these 2 days. The event consists of technical sessions in different streams, including physical sciences, art sciences, life sciences, and biomedical and pharmaceutical sciences, agriculture and rural development, engineering and IT, as well as exhibitions on the theme, Science and Technology for Sustainable Management of Water Resources. We are very privileged to have eminent speakers who are highly specialized in their field of expertise from different universities and institutions who have accepted our humble invitation to deliver keynote address in the different technical sessions. Those are Professor S.P. Saniel, Professors of Physics, retired from Barkatullah University, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. V.K. Gahalaut, Chief Scientist, National Geophysical Research, Hyderabad. Dr. Amrita Rao, Scientist, DICMR, NARI, Pune. Professor Pratima Agarwal, Department of Physics, IIT Guwahati. Professor G. Guru Subramaniam, Department of Zoology, Mizoram University. Besides the keynote speakers, we have more than 90 eminent and emerging scientists and more than 30 poster presentations by students, researchers, scholars, scientists, and engineers. Since the Mizoram Science Congress is the biggest scientific event in the state, which encompasses various branches of science, school students, and innovators of the state, I hope and wish that all the invitees, schools, colleges, universities, academicians, researchers, scholars, innovators, and dignitaries, that this Congress will enlighten each and every one of us in one way or the other. Let me remind each one of us that science and technology is a part of our daily lives, and that we must learn to acknowledge the importance of science for the development of our society and the nation at large. I once again welcome all of you in this event to enjoy, to grasp, and imbibe all the knowledge disseminated through this Congress, and to make full use of it and nurture the scientific temper to one and all. Thank you.
Now we will invite Dr. Aizawl, as Secretary of the Organizing Committee of Mizoram Science Congress 2022, and the Associate Professor, Pachunga University College, to give a brief report on the activities of the Congress.
Our chief guest of this function, the Honorable Mr. Lalruat Kima, Minister of Rural Development, Information and Public Relations, and Land Revenue and Settlement. Respected guests of honor, Mr. L. Thangmoya, MLA and Vice Chairman, Human Resource Development Board. Our chairman of this session, Engineer Aizawl Somliana, Chief Scientific Officer and Chairman of the Mizoram Science Congress 2022. Engineer Aizawl Dukima, Director, Project Management Unit, PhD Department, who will be delivering theme speech. Our most valued invited guests, invited speakers, state government officials, my colleagues from various science NGOs, I stand here before you to present a brief report at the inaugural function of the 4th Mizoram Science Congress 2022. The Mizoram Science Congress is a two-day event organized by Mizoram Science, Technology and Innovation Council in collaboration with science NGOs in the state, such as Mizo Academy of Sciences, Mizoram Science Society, Science Teachers Association Mizoram, Geological Society of Mizoram, Mizoram Mathematical Society, Biodiversity and Nature Conservation Network, and Mizoram Information and Technology Society. The first edition of the Mizoram Science Congress was successfully organized in 2016 at the Mizoram University campus with large gathering of participation of scientists and researchers within and outside the state. Students from schools, colleges, and university, innovators, and government departments. The event was followed by Mizoram Science Congress 2018, which was held at Pachunga University College. The event was supposed to be followed by another grand gathering at grand gathering of Mizoram Science Congress 2020, for which the organizing committee was formed. But unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic compelled us to organize the event in online mode during December 2020. Now that the COVID-19 pandemic situation has improved, the organizing committee, comprising of members from MISTIC and science NGOs mentioned earlier, worked together tirelessly for the past few months for making this event possible. I believe it is appropriate for me to take this opportunity to introduce the members of the organizing committee and subcommittee in this gathering. May I request my colleagues in the organizing team to kindly stand up from wherever they are. Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you, everyone. So many of the members, the organizing team, are engaged in other responsibilities outside this gathering. The 4th Mizoram Science Congress is organized in 2 phases. The event for the first phase was Children's Science Congress, which was held on 20th and 21st October 2022. In that event, child scientists representing all the 11 districts of Mizoram presented their scientific models. Out of these participants, the top 10 child scientists were selected to represent the state at the National Children's Science Congress and Indian Science Congress, which will be held during January 2023. Today's and tomorrow's events, consisting of 4 parallel technical sessions of scientific research paper presentations and grand exhibitions at City Park under a theme of Science and Technology for Management of Water Resources, is the second phase of the Mizoram Science Congress 2022. We are very happy to have received around 130 research papers for oral and poster presentations, which will be held at various seminar halls at the Aizawl Club and also the Planning Department Committee Room, just adjacent to Aizawl Club building. Also, there are around 35 research papers which are submitted as full manuscript. These papers will be processed for publication in Indian Journal of Science and Technology, which is listed in Web of Science. In the second phase of the Mizoram Science Congress 2022, we have invited eminent scientists and professors from within and outside the state to grace this function and deliver keynote speech at technical sessions for different science and technology disciplines. We are fortunate to have such eminent personality in our midst. May I kindly request our keynote speakers, Dr. V.K. Gahalot, Chief Scientist, National Geophysical Research Institute, Dr. Amrita Rao, Scientist D, ICMR NARI Pune, and Professor S.P. Saniel Barkatullah University, who are here with us today to kindly stand up. Yeah, thank you. We have exhibitors from school students, government departments, science NGOs, and innovators. Once our chief guest opens the exhibition after this inaugural function, our funding sources and sponsors for this event, I would like to thank Directorate of Science and Technology Planning Department and Project Management Unit PhD Department, Government of Mizoram, such as Genesis Enterprise, Millennium Center, Mizoram Business Center, HP Trade Center. We sincerely hope this edition of the Mizoram Science Congress will be a success and will benefit students and all the participants. Thank you.
Science Congress we shall now invite Dr. Arnel M. Moya, the Vice Chairman of Mizoram Science Congress, to felicitate our gathering. Our chief guest, the Honorable Mr. Larwat Kima, our Minister of State. Our guest of honor, the Honorable Mr. L. Thangmoya, MLA. Our theme speaker, Engineer H. Dukima. Our chairman, Engineer Aijal Somliana. Thank you. Voina Mizoram Science Congress mang tura kan khwalian local zong te chunga lom thu kan soinon le bok ani e. Our theme speaker, Engineer H. Dukima, is one of the most prominent engineers in Mizoram, proudly holding bachelor's degree in civil engineering and master's in hydrology. He is currently the director of Project Management Unit, PMU, Public Health Engineering Department. He is also the secretary of Mizoram Engineering Service for 5 years and is currently the executive committee member of the Mizoram Science Society for the 4th time. Apart from his professional work, he is also indulging greatly in non-scientific NGO of the Young Mizo Association, YMA, and serving his 3rd term as CEC in Central Young Mizo Association. He recently published a book titled Kanotbu, My Notebook in English, which is a complete guide to all things relating to engineering hydrology written wholly in Mizo. We are honored to have such a hardworking and overachieving figure in our society. The Public Health Engineering Department is also the major sponsor for the success of Mizoram National Congress 2022. Sir, the time is yours.
Respected Chairman, Chief Guest, our Honorable Minister, Rural Development, and guest of honor, Puel Thangmoya, MLA and Vice Chairman, HRD Board, and other dignitaries and friends. It is my immense privilege to address today the theme, Science and Technology for Sustainable Ecosystem, in this Mizoram Science Congress 2022. I'm working in Public Health Engineering Department. The main objective of the department is to provide sufficient water conforming to standard quality to every citizen in the state. Today, my speech will also be delivered with respect to water. It is now a common burning issue that the world is under the direct influence of the global warming, which brings about uneven distribution of annual rainfall, resulting in rapid depletion of water sources. One of the important elements and basic need for humans to survive is water. All living creatures fully depend on water to survive. If we further look into it, water is not only for survival, but also it has vital importance for cleanliness, power generation, recreation, so on and so forth. It may be needless to mention that the water is life and a fundamental constituent for all developmental activities. Mizoram receives annual rainfall continuously in the same amount, but distribution of water is uneven over a period of time. The natural forest absorbs the rains and gives opportunity for deep percolation, recharging groundwater, which again return to the ground surface, giving good surface source of water. Therefore, the natural forest is acting like a good reservoir as it absorbs rainfall and prevents surface runoff. It is unfortunate to say that the natural conserved virgin forests are now devastated by human interventions through continuous practice of primitive method of shifting zoom cultivation, compounded with massive disorganized developmental activities. The fast deforestation depletes water sources and wildlife starts migrating in search of their daily needs in other fertile lands. The ever-increasing demand of human requirements has induced ecosystem disequilibrium. The uncontrolled disposal of earth spoil from any kind of construction, dumping into the tributaries of water supply sources, has generated very high turbid water. The permissible limit for human consumption is 0 to 5 NTU, wherein the turbid water usually across 800 NTU during rainy season. This high turbid water brings fast clog to the filter media. Thus, long delay of water filter has often hampered regular water supply to the public during rainy season. Besides, the untreated liquid waste and solid waste haphazardly dumped on the roadside get taken away by the surface runoff and finally deposit in the drains and rivers. During summer months, the low flow in the river could not maintain self-cleansing velocity and contaminates water very easily. This contamination drastically reduces dissolved oxygen present in water, which increases biological oxygen demand, BOD. This process results in eutrophication and thus kill aquatic animals. In order to make my statement clearer, I was appointed to look after Aizawl water supply in 2021. The present installed capacity of Aizawl water supply is 34.8 million liters per day. The discharge of Tlong River at Reyekai surprisingly reduced to 31 million liters per day as measured on 19th April 2021 at pre-monsoon. Then, when rainy season started, the volume of water has increased and sufficient water is available in terms of a quantity. But water gets high turbidity throughout the season. Thus, pumping of water has compelled to stop for about 1 to 8 hours in a day. This clearly rings the warning bell to protect and conserve ecosystem with its environment. This is the time for generating public awareness to transform behavior change towards valuing water and biodiversity in order to keep our ecosystem sustainable. The technology is very simple. All stakeholders must get involved, starting from top to the bottom, and to play leading role for all sections of society to protect and conserve forests in our land. The appropriate policies should be rolled out to manage environmental protection systematically by making appropriate acts and rules. Let us give concerted effort to rejuvenate all valuable resources in Mizoram without further delay. Together, we can rebuild this beautiful state by keeping ecosystem sustainable. Tui na hum halila kan ram hi ivong fai zelang u. Save water, save life. Thank you.
We now invite our guest of honor, Mr. El Thangmoya, MLA and Vice Chairman of the Human Resource Development Board, to provide us with a speech.
Chairman le kan kholian jaum tak pulal rot ki ma hunlu tak sengin voina boi ve me mai ni hi kan science program tengai poi mo in kan ka ti do na voini khola kai ngai che lova ron tel pui the lo mom khopa tin science society ten pa bera kan nei Mizoram Science and Technology mystic te ponian ni mingan nga angrega how to power engineering lal som liana voina kan welcome address so tu te tin pachunga college ka thopui organizing secretary Dr. Aizawl te tin toifel ta ka thim ron so tu engineering lal du kima tele nakina thula so tu Dr. David Rot liana joint secretary MSc 2022 organizing committee le organizing committee members zong te and specially invited professor and learned people from outside Mizoram. I welcome you on behalf of Mizoram, and I do hope that your presence will make our program a giant success. And please often visit Mizoram, and that will improve science education and our scientific activities in the future. After you return also, please try to have some contribution for Mizoram in terms of science. I may apologize, I'll speak in the native language, Mizo, so that I can express better, and I do hope I want to take your permission. I'll not say too much today. When you hear who are som to Rapoka in Gailova, hey, Mizoram Science Society, here life member in Kaoma, in Mizo Academy Science, here how to the Nungzuin, Silonga Chang doing Anlo Omve, Boka, Tinbet Society, here din to the Zinga, telling can hold to the Nungzuin Lo Omboka. When you to so me lo poker on tel natur, anyway. Shima, Pony say, how ang deute. Holo ang reng deut tlem ka soyanga kan kholian in hun tamjok ani theinan poni sela point ni thubin kan soyanga pakhat na chon Mizoram science education kan chan nahi alarei lo viewani 70s hawa UNICEF le India sarkar tho ho na puye soi lir tenan lo chan na science tu ti ni ti ati ni ti ania ta chuan kan mithiam ma sa pol som fars le these things on pass ho ka chu hey pudu ki mahen chianga engineer le doctor kha an object vek mai ni khami kha sarkar la matangin science and technology lo oma riat ruka din ani riat sarian function chana anin mala in voini he program hoi khotna bultum tu te tho mizo thalai first brain ho general science uncle thainan scholarship thatak an lo siam chuaka voin chon ti to pani to a voinia college le university thok tam ta khisu adong ve manin ni karing keipon kadong ve nge ya BSc le MSc ya omje nei thamani khati lai khan kan hostel fee te po adai ve kan chu wangin voini hi hunrem chang kan la anga khatinga bulchan tu mystic te science and technology chunga Mizorama science lam tui ho ai in lom thu kan soi duwa tina dot le se la po science society sang min tinung tu an ni a kan momo regular funding tele thil dang dang hey Academy of Science bi progress kan ti thina khati lai ho tu te nung ka zui lai point science vision ti chua kan duwa khang te po kha Dr. Vanal Zara ho tu pa berom lai ria han leng thina kan ho tu te an ni zara bulchan thei kan ne voin thlengin tluang takin akal bokani chu tiang zel instama tele dang danga po ani o me chu wang chuan point khan na ti top nan chuan science kan bulchan nai ala rei lo ni chuti rual ro chuan point ni na chuan ma kan son chaka alomum tuna hian India ram level po za pui omlo scientist te kan nei chho chana hey blasting lama phei chuan in Dr. C somlian te po Mizoram in har sana kan to a mithiam kan cha chuati hian an tel pathoni chuan tuna hian he tilaya doctorate degree nei na tur tiemo tin a science pa ngaya thiam pa ngai nilo ข้าอายสังแค่ที่วันนี้จิรไลท์ที่อินโดนเอ็มโชข้าดูดิสุวิตูจวนมิโซทัวเกนพานีที่เชียนเอ็มจูมันนี่ลูกค้าเนี่ยมันเอฟชลายน์IIT จังกับ PhD มุทาร์กันวลมปุยาจุดตาอโลสวยการิลรูคอยเอ็มจูเฮต้ามิโซรัมปอนละมาจวนปอลสรินจิรไลท์จังเต็น IIT อันชันส์ตัวรีอันลอยบวชใส่จันตัวเกี่ยนี่จูปอลส่งปนิเวลากันไงตัวจันนะอาเช่นไปจวนส่งปนิริซัลหาไลท์เต็นกันไงตัวจันนะจุดที่จุงจวนเทคโตบกันนั่นชัวจวนกันเอลพาเวทเท่านี้ทีนี่จุ่มยมเสียจุกันทั่วขี้จวนผานี่กันตุ่มเล่ตุ่มโลอันนี้ที่ข้าอันนี้อันนี้นั่นก็จวนไซน์ติสเตลโลเฮียงกันนมเทลวะจุ่มมีตัวจวนอภิตะกินวันนี้ชลายจิรไลโลกัลเตตานกันเทเวนี่อินเดียรัมไม่นี่โลโคเวลเลเวล่ะมีเทียมกันจ่าชัวกันตีฟ้าเฮียนอินตุ่มตักจวนอินเตลเทนี่จู่วันนี้หัวนุลกัดวัวจวนนั่นตัวเบอร์น่ะพอยต์ตัวป่าจวน University ละมาถกเตปกันเงินดัวMizoram University big takin hemi ho ang reng si ho lo ang reng si example bahat ka soyaga Mizoram in kan mo address yan kan research te po hi PhD muna tu ne mo nilaw mo kalpui tu rian tu nai na sa zok yan tin kalom na chu Mizoram mo tam tak MZT what research finding a to ani han en chuan kan lamang changkai don chawani tu na lamang vut thelo mai la pakhat example kan pengaเฮ้ยแค่นี้สินช่างกันเนี่ยกันควรเรียนปนนักเรียนอ่ะอันนี้คนสั่งส่งตักเตปอนอยู่ไหมRD จังเตปอนโฮลกันนั่นสลุยไปอ่ะบ่มีต้องเขลน่ะตัวนี้กันดูเตลชินบ็อกซี่อ่ะโฮกแบบไม่นี่กันโฮลบ้านนี้กดเตทเวงอ่ะกันจุกลไปจุดกัดทุสวยพวกไอ้บ้านก็เฮลเทโลจู่อะคูสติกลำเทียมเดียวฟิสิกส์ลำมาเตปอนเนี่ยอ่ะข้างนี่เซนโซเทมสีฟังส่วนนั้นในไล่แต่ละฮอลของเราดานเนี่ยมั้งเซนโซสร้างตัวส่วนนั้นตั้งบังอาตีดานตัวอันมอร์สุเซนโซเคลมสีปวนเตปอซาร์ดอนเซซาร์ดานตัวอักหกดานวจิรสักทินมิโซรัมฮอลเสเลตัวเดตานาโมเดลอักหกเราดานตัวโมเดลมิโซรัมคนทั้งเรื่องอันดูดานเคล็ดจุงเสียข้างเตปอค่ะตีชัวเทจุนีเซตั้มตะกินอวยไม่กัลคอมเนี่ยเตมีควรเล่นทุนสวยนี่เตจังการกันเนี่ยจู่เอ็กซัมปุลการอนสวยไม่นี่ขัดเตียงกันกันโมกันมันงาลเทสีอีกขัดเตียงขัดตักตัวอมินก็เสียScience Congress กันในเลยพี่ชวนจุดเตียงห้อยซองเปปาร์เตปอฮีเราไปเสียละชาวไม่เองปนิเสวันนี้หลอดลิงตะกะเฮตียงอินอร์แกไนซ์ที่กลมปุยเจ้าคุณกัลเซล่ะเกี่ยวในตู้ซีก็มีกันเนี่ยกันตีเทียมชวนสุรการละมังปนเราอินทรุงเราละกันทอเข้าเซลังมิโซรัมก็สวยทีนะไงเราละมาเราไงเราละมิโซรัมมีอินดิเพนเดนซ์แต่ทุกไม่ละจู่กันโมโมสักตัวที่เกี่ยวกับ MCS และ ISO นี่เราอีกติเวทละทีนะรำเวนหิมนานอะตอมบอมเสียมเทียมเตโมอินโดโทนเสียมเทียมเตข้านี่กันว่าอินดิเพนเดนต์โดนโลตีนั่นนี่เราอินอิสราเอลนี่พวกข้านี่เชียนี่จู่วางจวนข้ามนี่ตูร์เขาปะเทียมอะค่ะช่างทาราตุนกุมสองช่วงยันกันอมตำสวายนี่ที่การิลรัวอเลียนทีนะรำช่วยตูกันนี่นะโจนะจังอินไอ้บาลันสังไงนี่จู่มีตูร์จวนภาคโตกาเทโตปกันสวดล่างเวนก็เสียตูน่าจิลไลช่างทาร์เตียนจู่มีมิลตูร์จวนโคเวลรำดังปนตัวนั้นอินเดียนIITดีนะอันสินั้นตั้งแต่เสกUSA แต่ควรมันจังไก่สักและสรุปตัวนี้อันว่าสุอินเดียนะมองเดียมันจังไก่นะตั้งแต่ปอมเวเลตบกเท่านี้สุดที่ยังตัวชวน USA scientist ดิดลักตัวอินเดียรำมิโซรัม scientist ดิดลักตัวอินเชอร์ชวนนะมันรบปอยหมดตักเราในเซลตัวรินไอ้กันมิโซรัม Science Congress เราเซลตัวแหละคุมินฮีดูสักนักลานันนี่ขลอมไหม
We invite our chief guest, the Minister of State, to have an inaugural speech.
Respected guests of honor, Honorable MLA, Vice Chairman, Human Resource Development Board, Pu El Thang Moya, respected Chairman, Mizoram Science Congress 2022, Engineer Aijal Somliana, our resource persons, especially those who are coming from outside the states, and all distinguished delegates. Ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to be here for this auspicious occasion, the 4th Mizoram Science Congress. As we all know, the theme of the 4th Mizoram Science
Congress 2022 is Science and Technology for Sustainable Ecosystem. The speed and scale of changes we encounter today are unprecedented. How are we going to respond these challenges that we do not even know could arise? It is a deep-rooted, curiosity-driven scientific tradition which allows quick adaptation to new realities. Tomorrow's experts will come from investments we make today in our people and infrastructure. My government is committed to supporting different streams of science knowledge, ranging from fundamental science to applied science with emphasis on innovations and sustainability. One important area that needs to be addressed is the rapid global rise of cyber physical system. This has the potential to pose unprecedented challenges and stresses to our demographic dividend. But we can turn it into a huge opportunity to resort training and skilling to robotics, artificial intelligence, digital manufacturing, big data analysis, deep learning, quantum communication, and Internet of Things. There is a need to develop and exploit these technologies in services and manufacturing sectors, in agriculture, water, energy, and traffic management, health, environment, infrastructure and geo-information system, security, financial systems, and combating crime. As we all know, this Congress is going to be conducted in two phases. One is Children's Science Congress, where future young scientists will show their talents. And the other one will be the main event, where our experts will share their knowledge and let us know our current situations and for our future. Let me continue in Mizo language. Hey, Voinia, Mizoram Science Congress, Voilina, Kualian Turin Minhan Soma, Hey Helaya, Kan Ho Tupa, Kan MZ Ulama Te, Nehu Lama Te Kan Ho Tupa, Kan Senior Professor Lalthan Tluangan, Ninon Uaboka Kalom, Lemaya, Kaini science background po nailo, alumum, Kualiana Minhan Som Hi, Enge Mokasoy Veang Le, Ani Ho first class brain, Ho Bula, Kaini third class brain in a tuan soy ve te chua. Amaro chukat experience toy te achon decision making le leadership aero hi chuanin quality sang dai khalo ni ve thunga chulam achu khovel kalphunga pathian in misiam dan adang lam zela wangian kan talen min pek te trangkai taka ramle nam tan te kan dam kho chuanan te kan man thakop maya kum sang za ko somriat le pasari khanita in ka khia high school kan ka line ei sarma eng ate ho hianin science exhibition champaya kan neya chuta chuanin immersion heater chungchang kha keini khan kan present ani kan tui pui view maya pani na kan nia kha ba kha chu science lampang kan chol san view maya amar chu khovel hi alo chang kang zela maso na tam tak kan nei chho zela chu maso na chu science and technology atang lo chuan anei the lo ni เฮโคเวลมาโซนเซลกันหันติอาโปคานินข้ากับมาอินจิเนียร์ดูกิมันสอยจูมาโซนนะชวนวันนี้กันตุยโกนะอติบูได้ไหมนี่กันฟ้าเตกุมสมปังรัวเห็นตุยโกนะปุยอันเรตโอมโลมังโอไอโซลเขาปุยไอส่วนกะเทียนี่เองวางินเนี่ยตุยโกนะขาติบูเฮตาพีเอชินตุยมินรอนสับลายแต่ปะกันเฮรหัวตุยกังหาขบูได้ไหมนี่ตุยปอกเรตโอโลกันซิลไลโพลซีปอกเห็นกันตั้มกันงงกอลเทคโนโลยีปอกอาบูได้ไหมนี่งงกอลพูดง่ายโตโลฟ้าทิ้งกลางเราในมีแต่ปอทูหุยเลร์เตนเองคิมไม่ข้าขานิตานี่ขัดอย่างขันมาโซนนะคะเราก็เสียละการหุ่นไล่ที่เวข้างล่างนี่ละอินรินนี่โจ้ขันกันอินบัวละอาบากอินบัวนี่ข้าเราแรงตุยขุระขันข้างอังสงข้าวันนี้จนได้ลีรูทีนป่วยหมดตักจุอินบัวฝ่ายขานิตานี่จุดตาจวนนี้ sufficient supply of water อากันในตกฟังขานี่ตุยกังหาข้าบูตาทิลบูหาตามันนี่จุดจวน science and technology มาโซนนี่กันหลังทีนี่เด็กอารมณ์นดบูได้ไหมเป็ดโรมักส์เป็ดโรมักส์มุลโลเลชิเทียมโลฮะกันเทรวินการิงยูนิฟอร์มฮะกันซิร์ไลดูตักแต่ซีกันหลังทีนพวกมาโมโตโลกันมาโมโตโลนักขานินเลทิลดังจังกังโซปวดสับไลกันในตากฟังขันอารมณ์นดบูตาเสลนี่จู่กังมาโซนนั่นจิตช่างกันไงตัวไงโลกันนู่เลยกันป้าเตะจู่ดิลิงเตะถิงเซลิงเตะถิงเซมิมลิงเตะแล้วเราวินรำนัวเก็บผ้าลงอินอันกัลมาวันนี้จนกดไล่พวกเก็บผ้าเก็บลงจนกัลพวกอันกัลงำโลนี่มาไงเพย์เขาก็ใจนวันนี้จนแบรนด์เพย์เขาเวกข้านี่ตัวนี่กันมุภากันตีกันเช่นเราครับจู่ science and technology วางรอนอันนี้เขาเวลจังกังเสียละกันจุดอย่างจู่นี้เกินเตลป่วยหมดตักไม่ science and technology นี่วางินมาโซนนะให้มีกงอาเห็นหนังนี่ให้กันหาฝากกันอินหานักกันมาเถียงกันนี่science เทียมนะเห็นมีหิงหนุนที่อากาศคุยนะเซมตัวกันนี่ตินนุนาเห็น science เทียมนะวางทิลหมู่ชัวเลยเทียมชัวเห็นบูนัสตะกินขวดอันนี้จุงสิงาชวนกันอินเบียปนาตานกันมันกุมสังนี่เลยประคัดสังนี่เลยปัญหาชาวเวล่าโมบายโฟนเตะอารอนออกมาคอมพิวเตอร์ข้อทุกในนี้กันหันตีกันในเว็บภาคกันไงโลกชุ่มกตินินกันในตาโมบายฮันเซ็ตเพย์กันในตาเวกไม่นี่วันนี้เตลวินกันเทยโลอันนี้World Cup ไลน์เนี่ยกัติสังกัดสักว่าสมเรียเลยปารุกะมาราโดน่าฝังไลน์คัน World Cup มีนะกันนี่ชวนนินคุณอาโลกละสังกัดสักว่าสมกัวอิตาลีกันหันตี1994 USA World Cup ออกมามีนะกันรับปุ่งคอมหุดไหมนี่ทีวีไหนข้ากันอมเลยมาเซฟวันนี้เราชวนมานี่จังอินกันเอ็นแต่ริงุดไหมนี่มีนะพวกกันเอ็นเปย์แล้ววะมานี่พวกกันเอ็นเปย์ตรกกัน science and technology มาสอนนักขันเกี่ยมานี่ตับฉักโซละขันมินรอนเข็นตาทิ้งลูกคำปุดอาบวะทิ้งน้อยฟมอาบวะจุงอังสงสารเขาเวลอลสังโจกนะอวางินไอบาร์ซอนเตข้าง science and technology ฟังอันนี้จู่ฟังชวนโมบายฮันเซ็ตเจ้าเหล่าพวกฮัดทิลทั้งทับตักเอาหมดไหมอินเดียเรามาโปเฮียนการหันทีร์ชวนอินเขาเวลมุนช่างตุยอัลเทย์ oil and natural gas อัตเลมเตียละจู่มีมังเหล่าจงเลยประเทศนั้นมันมีเป็ก renewable energy การหันทีอบิกแต่อินนี่สูงจักนะมังpower เสียมชัวเตอโลลาร์ตาวิวมาช่วงชวนเลียร์เทเซียมชัวเตกันไอรงบอลนั่นเตกันนี่ติลมาโมฆะนั่นสัตกินมินเหล่าโชคตานี่โกลเพทาปวดเสียมชัวละมาปนี่สูงจากน้ำมังกันในเทดานแข่งอินมันรถสังกังโซไว้เนี่ยชวน science and technology เทียมน้ำมังอินมินเหล่าโชคตาเฮมิกงากันเซนรัลตูร์ปนั่นสัตกินอารมณ์สุขียงตานี่กุมสังที่เลสอมเลปัสริขัน USA เนวาดากันกะละจุดตาจวนินมินเหล่าเอ็นตีร์เล็กันหันตอนเชียตะกันหมู่ตั้มตะกจูตูนมากุมตั้มตะกัลตาจวนินเนวาดาทะเลระคะโง่เตปโลนี่ทิ้งร่วงอามเตปโอมันมาเซฟไว้เนี่ยจนทะเลพูดไม่ค่ะอะไรเนี่ย chu mi rem chan na chu la in power megawatt zali som nga siam chhuat theina kha solar plate kha thui mai lian zau mai khan lo siam chuka chu mi ang achu keima ni pon tuna Aijal project te po kan han tui pui via ma se kan environment kan ecology engangin nge ati chia tang ti khovel mi thiam te ngai dan alo ni ta chu wangchon renewable energy lama kan in transiak chhota sel ani chu chuan kan environment kan ecology lo ti tha sela ram rang kan in transiak na le ram dang laka kan in da san chan po hi science lam thiam na tanga mi nei ve lo kan nei te hi ani fo mai ni nuclear ral thuam te nuclear weapons nei ram chu science and technology an hiam tak tak theilo chu ania he khovel hin kan sia ka lir thei siam chu ko nga po na sa takin kan an in ita electric motors te aron chuak chho zela chu tiang ang chu ni tin hian athar jok mu chhuat tumin thei top choina in kan siak chho zela ni man rothale ol samjok kan ni tin daily life kan mamo ang chi kha ol samjok min chop chho ta zela heng size ma so na hian kan tun dun hun pia lam min thlir tir se kan ril ruwa vong rengila chu chuanin ngai tuana thar kan na yang Sir Isaac Newton law of gravity amu chu khan ke ni pon kan reve reng aron tla ani ti chu ma se angai tuana amu chuak tu ni tlat reve reng chung khan ke ni ai thuak thajok ten enge mo mu chu tur in la nei trewang chu da chuanin Silicon Valley kan ti San Francisco khovela technology ti mayang IT khopui Silicon Valley a khwanin Stanford University oma chu ta zir lai tamzo kamu ve po chu Asian ani deu vek mani tamem maya Japan technology te kan ti khovel ma son zela China ten sum don na lama te kong ranga khovel run chho meka chu tiang ang chuan in ke ni ui sai thuak in a phak ve lo ti hian scientist kan han riat Dr. Lal again mol chin khang ang kha kan han nei a kharo pui kan han ti khopa ma se voi nia chu scientist kha kan nei ta tru mai chau ni professor kan nei lo tura kan ngai ta kan nei chho ta sela kha tiang ang kha kan nia chu wang chon ui sai thuak hian alo phak reng mai ni chu wang chon kan riat le kan huangin science thiam na le ma son na hian khovel bo ruak na sa takin ti dang lama sikle sa po ain thak na sa mi hring du dan le ngai tuana le be se na thlengin na sa takin ti dang lama ni heng thilin thak zelin har sana tam takaron thlen hi science thiam na mang tho hian sut kian kan tum turani chumi ta na ngai tuana seng turin voinia local khom zong te kanin somin kain cha ngal ni sela Mizoram Science Congress 2022 kan nei chan le tum nei chan chu kan ngai thak ta kang khan Science and Technology for Sustainable Ecosystem inia hei hian tum bul bernia lang chu science le athiam na manga man ruaten mi hring te le chen pui te tan tun hun le hun lo lakal zel tura chen fa kom takasiama science thiam na kan tun hun le nakin hun zelatan ti ania tun ma kan pi le pu te huna chuanin British of in India ram anop hun lai kha chuan leilung hausang nang chi reng kha the song kha Aizawl manral an tum thin ani chu tiang ang nilomin tu na Science Congress ina min zir tira tum ber chu kan voin hunatan science thiam na manga mi hring ma mole ol samna siam pialama hian kan tha generation lo lakal zel tur te thlenga mi hringin dam kho chuana ta na kan ma mo ang nu chia le aruangam lo din hi ani chu wang chuanin he ta glacier alo tuiral zela tuifin ria tina chim chin alo san zela sia wangin chumi balance taka kan kal theina turin kan environment te kha kan ngai thak tang han kan tlong tui alo kam tel เตละปั๊มตูร์โปอันเลยตะมังเลวะจุดยังอังดินหุ่นกันเขียนตากเสียชวนเองตินเงกันดำขดช่วงจุดตาชวนินกัน environment กันหุมหารา river protection bill เตสรการินอบัวเสีย river and reserve นี่เทนตูร์เต็นขัดยังbalance ตะกันกัลเทนตูร์ไงตัวนักกันเสนะทั้งทาร์โลอมเซลตูร์เตตานะเจนนัตลากะเฮรัมฮีวันนี้มีเต็นบัวเสียอะไรนี่จุมีกันทั่วกับมินสัวมินสิลเสียมินกายช่วยตัวจวน science and technology ละมาตอนเรียนในนังนี่เราฮิจุอันนมเราอันนี้จู่วังจวนนี้นังนี่เฮียนกงดิกมินกอมูเทียนังนี่เฮียนมินสิรตีเทียนังนี่เฮียนมินกายช่วยเทียอันนี้นังนี่เราจุกันอมเราอันนี้ตีเสียอีละจู่วังจวนนี้กันทีมเฮียรูปินเฮียนหุ่นเราก็เสียตัวตานปมพัศนาดูอมตักใบมินเข่นไงกับเบสเซนอันที่ข้างล่างอีละมันเนี่ยรำเทียงริมกันกะละจอร์แดนกันลุ่นมัสเบระชุดตาก็มัวชุเอ็นกอลโลปอนี่หรอ natural อันนี้ตาออกมาอารูฟิกไม่นี่ทิ้งอังคับมูตัวเราอมโลอันนี้ชวนนินจอร์แดนนั่นทากินบาสินอิสราเอลกันกะละอิสราเอลรำกันหันลูตาเอ็นกอลวางินเราทิ้งเวทุงอันนี้จอร์แดนจูเอ็นกอลปอนี่เราเอ็นกอลตัวเราอมโลอันเอ็นกอลเซจนะทิ้งเวมานะ Science and Technology เทียมน้ำหังอินอิสราเอลป้าจุดาป้าจวนอันรำอติสิงะอันหันมูจู irrigation อัดจังเตคานเทโตบอันชัวอัน Zion Mount Zion ทางอาเตโปขัดขันไปปินอันติดเทียร์สูงไหมนี่ตุยเป็กนะตัวข้า drip irrigation เตคานบัลลันทาราเอปุลันทาราเซร์ทุมอันทาราขัดยังหันอันเอ็นโกลานี่จุดยังจุมีอินา science and technology เทียมน้ำมังอันรำอันเอ็นโกลดามิโซรามิโรจุกันเอ็นโกลโปง่ายเลยอาหิงซาวิกไหมนี่การเอ็นโกลเพย์จวนอาหิงเทลว่ากันเขาฝ่ายไม่อะขัดยังกันเนี่ยจุดยังจุปัทเทียนี่น้ำมินเสียมาฮีการ environment อาฮีการหุ่มฮะละ balance ตะกันกัลเทนตูรินนังนี่แหละแค่นี้เห็นหมอกันพูดเลยการเทียดังอินข้อมปุยเฮกงเรเซียนface นี่การหันกัลโซตาโนปังเตริลรัวตุโนปังโจกัลนาองกงอาซิรติรุละเอาปัดนูปอยนัทหาลงทีมไบบุลากันมนจูวังชน science กันเราเหลาทีนะ science mathematics ไปจูกันเหลาวะนี่เตเราจูวังจูเองที่เนี่ยมิโซเตียเห็นกันไปยังบารมาลามาจักินกันอูนาวเต้นเราฉุกคลาสกุลาเต้นหันทกะมุนันเทียมมามุนกันเทียมเราฟังให้มันจูติเด็กกันไงตัวน่าชนเอามัน science กันเหลาทึดไหมนี่จูเหล่าน่าอัตาจูลลิสวคริสตันมินฉันดำอังคารนังนี่ scientist รัวเฮียนินมิโซเตทั่วกระชังเฮียนินทั่วกะเฮียนเหล่าโลน่าท่าเราอังงมนะอักมินหันตูเตวมินตูเทียงกันซิรไลเตทั่วกะเฮียนอินตูเทียงตีกับริงกลัดอันนี้จุดเทียงอังจวนินมิโซตานจังกายตักเลยมาสอนนาราบี science เทียมนั่นละมามินกายช่วยตูเฮกงเรสินีไงกับริงะปลายกัลคอมเต้นกันสิรตัวเลยกันไงตัวกันไงทากตัวหันถีถ่วกปอยเฮียนมาโซนตานาปอยหมดตัก solid waste management กันหันตีบอลโลจอยเทโลสองบอลดานเตมิโซรัมมาโมตักไม่กันกงปุ๋ยอาลูโตโซนาตานเองวางเนอร์กันมอนซูนเอเรียกงอัตโลเอเมมามิโซรัมอัตโลโลตัดตีเตโปกันไงตัวช่วงตัวนี่มาเนี่ยกันสินะจุดตาชวนินลุงเลยโรตากันกัลชวนินไอโซลมาตรังกะลา driver side ลำกงซงอัจฉริยะอุเวกันนี่โซลมาตรัง local ซงอัจฉริยะอุเวกเองเอชันกะเตียกหันริงชินเตวก็ไงดานินโจไม่หมกกะเตียกจุดตาชวนอันนี้รินเสียกไม่อะอัจฉริยะนี่เปรักก็ไงจุโลดละมอเตอรินอาริโจกินอากาลเพลามินอันซุยะอารอนเล่ลำซูโลดละเลวอันนี้อาริดละวารานั่นละวะดินจุดที่รัวจวนินกงฉักลำอาฮิเดรนไซเดรนนั่นลำอาคาโลดละรอนราลำข้านี่เพย์เดียวซาร์มาอะไอ้ทากเจ้าจางชนข้าขจูอดังลำเวนี่จู่วังจวนไอโซลซิลจาร์คงอาโปจู่เท่าจวน chung ang chu mi ina an mu ve reng an riat ve reng thei tur an ngai tua chua si lo khang ang kha size thiam na mang khanin khang ang zong zong enge chan kan lot la kan motor reng reng a hi Mizoram a hian 407 atanga lian ber thleng po hian 10 wheel te 12 wheel te do saka bara chaka kan han ti ho sang sang te poi han ngai tua ta ula kan zom si vik ringot mai ni motor MV Act noya chuan a lot lak thei zan an la den wait a om veka ma se kan du ma wang khan kan zom se ya kha khan kong a lo ti tlo ta lo ni chu tiang ang te chu eng tin nge hetlai hianin PWD ten en pon nakina in la soi ho kan la soi ho nga khang ang tha kha kan ngai tua chuangai ni chu wang chuan voinia hianin khang ang zong zong thil thleng om te kan rama kan dam kho chuana tur te le tlo jok tha jok moi jok te po kha nang ni min ngai to pui theyang he congress khom pui tang kan thil mu chole siam chua zir chen he kan ram tan tin akal te le ngai thatu te point tang kai le zuala kan man ka duwa ke ni ram shoi tu politician te hian science and technology lama thiam na thui tak kan nei vek lo amol tak tak kan ni chungang chu hetiang thiam na nei te hian min fin chho ula thuron min pera u voinia hianin kan ram hian mason adua ama so foi le khata mason duak thei kan ni lo keima nia kan ril ruwa mason du na om sela mason tum na om sela final le thiang him na ko nga po kan bol lo kan pai akha OML NGO te sarkar department te trang kopin zuk then le ngai enga tinge dasbina ka pai mai lo fur pui alo then do na piang in thala zo vele Aizawl khopuya drain kalvat at no vek khop bol lo enga te kan pai zel chu tiang da chu kan thua ka min tu ula fai turin kung fu thiam khera ngai lo ti te thleng po khan min hazir tir te u fai turin zai thiam kher ni ngai lo kan ti thei vek every citizen khan kan ti thei vek ani ti kha kan ngai to na om sela he Mizoram Science Congress khom pui 2022 lot lina tura mala tu Mizoram Science and Technology and Innovation Council MISTIC Science Teacher Association of Mizoram STAM Mizoram Science Society MSS Mizoram Academy of Sciences MAS Mizoram Mathematical Societies Biodiversity and Nature Conservation Network BICON Geological Society of Mizoram le Mizoram Information and Technology Society te chunga lom thu ka soya nang ni kal tlang hian Mizoram in masona duom tak kan mu ngei ka ringin ka be sei tlata pathian in theina min pek thiam na min pek in na sale zualin mang tang ka ila he ram lo chu mizo ten ram dang kan nei lo kan tu le lal nu ro puili ani te pasal thakuang chera te khan an nun an hlan zofa te chen na turin pathian in min pe chu nang le ke lim taka kan chen mek la hian kan tu le fa te chen na tlak lo hian kan environment hi kan ti chethei chumi chu kherengin kan tu le fa te boruak hi ve tur te ei turan nei na tura an nun na tura tui lo hum hala Jal Shakti Abhiyan kan hanti te Amrit Sarovar atanga tuin ha hum kang zong zong thleng kan ngai tu na kan mana voin nia local khom te hian kan nak tu kan thang thar te tan kan zoram tan hian ngai tu na mang turin kain som dua Mizoram Science Congress 2022 chu a lot lin ngai thena turin om takin ka honge ome
We are blessed to have a prominent figure that expressed genuine interest in the further development as well. Kan khwalian hena lom thu kan soinon mula kan mason na te min sha pui tu kan nei hi kan lom matin kan mason lezel theina tura min du sak na te po lom thu kan soitel bok ni ro se. We have come to the later part of our inauguration. However, the opening of the exhibition will commence in the city park shortly after the end of this gathering. And we would like to request each and everyone to be present in the aforementioned sufficient venue for lunch. Let us now invite the Joint Secretary of the Organizing Committee of Mizoram Science Congress 2022 and the Scientific Officer of Mizoram Science, Technology and Innovation Council, Dr. Aizawl Ruatliana, to present the vote of thanks.
Mr. Chairman, sir, yes, it has been an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. I feel honored and privileged to have an opportunity to deliver the vote of thanks on this memorable day. First and foremost, on behalf of the organizing committee and the entire fraternity of Mizoram Science Congress 2022, I would like to express my most sincere thanks to God Almighty for making this event a resounding success through His blessings and grace. A hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest, Pulal Ruatkima, our honorable minister, who spared his valuable time despite his busy schedule to grace this function. Not only that, we also had an opportunity to hear your views and your insights towards science, which I'm sure will encourage us in our future endeavors. Thank you, sir. Hey, kan kualian hi ahun cep takara hun tepter takara kan han som chon maya a meeting nei lain official lo takin phone call in kan han bia ani in rom man na fel tak min lo siam saka voina hun cep takara hun demiron man pui theya achunga kan lom tak zet ani. Next, I would like to thank our beloved guest of honor, Pu El Thangmoya, MLA and Vice Chairman of the HRD Board, for always being with the science community of Mizoram, and he's here yet again to grace this important scientific event of the state. Sir, your thoughts have enlightened our minds, and we hope that it will lead us to better Mizoram in the field of science and technology. Hey, kan kual zaom hi Mizoram Science mi tetan hian nasa takin ma ala Directorate of Science and Technology po Department puitlinga hlana ni theinan theito min chuwa puya achunga lom thu kan soi tak me bok ani e. My sincere thanks goes to Engineer H. Dukima, Director, Project Management Unit, PhD Department, for his kind presence, as well as for the wonderful theme speech, which I'm sure will be the guiding factor of this event. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank him for being our main sponsor of this event through his initiatives. Thank you, sir. A heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests from the state government, prominent citizens, scientists, and science NGOs of the state. We are very happy to have here with us Professor Lanun Kluanga, former Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University. We thank you all for always being with us in our scientific events. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, convey deep regards and heartfelt thanks to all our invited keynote speakers who came from all over the country to make this event a successful one. I would also like to take an opportunity to thank all the chairpersons, the co-chairpersons of the technical sessions, the presenters of both oral and poster presentation, and all the exhibitors of this Congress. It would have been impossible to organize the Mizoram Science Congress 2022 without any funding sources. I, on behalf of the organizing committee, extend sincere thanks to all our sponsors, PhD Department, Directorate of Science and Technology through SEDP, Genesis Enterprise, Mizoram Business Center, Trade Center, and Digital House. Thank you all for your support. I also express my heartfelt vote of thanks to all the students and faculties from the JL High School and Mizoram Institute of Comprehensive Education for your kind participation and your presence here today. I would also like to thank our host, Ms. Tsungi, and our team of media, ushers, refreshment, and all the other teams Without you guys, this event would not be possible. Thank you very much once again. Coming to an end, I would like to take this opportunity to thank all my colleagues under the umbrella of Mizoram Science Congress, the organizing committee, and all members of the subcommittee. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement you have shown and the willingness which you have expressed for the completion of different tasks for the successful of this event. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us and helping us to make this event a grand success. Thank you one and all. In zavai chunga lom thu kan soi tak meu meu ani kalome.
And that brings us to the end of this function, and we request all the participants to stay seated in the hall.
Ready?
Mizoram Science Congress 2022, Science and Technology for Sustainable Management and Water Resources. Ganti model exhibition to alotin daturin. Moinia, lom takin kahonge.
Most non-dangerous snakes, like some colobrida and other families. And here we have some dangerous and venomous snakes, but they're all small. Here we have pit vipers. So this is Dromeosaurus papillorum.
Yes, and also some families of elephants.
Yeah.
There's a cobras, mutton cobras, and king cobras. Yes, the youngest one that we got in the lab in MCQ. So became adult. Yes, here
This young king cobra.
This is natural Mizoram?
Yes. This is all snakes from Aizawl area.
So you are a research student in MZU or you
No,
are...
we're actually students, PhD students from Russia, from Moscow State University.
Okay.
But we're here like.
How long have you been here?
Huh?
How long have you been here?
We're already here for like 2.5 weeks. And
Oh, hey, Mizoram Civil Engineers.
Ja, kan in biar.
Ai kasiam ve tiam. Ai jom ve kasiam. To a challenge.
Hey, ama. Sir, bukul. Cakpo masya manihi o.
khai telescope Mizoram ma hinga lian jalo mo
Lian birang. Oh, palam. Oh, kurang hakok ni.
hey Mr. Kang endang
Oh, hey, Mizoram Science Congress. Oh, ma. Chuanin hi ingni ni kumtuan ini NVT lauta i thalai mo arsilan chawve la khan i program kha kan thei chin Friday din ang chi te nai watching kha ka yang kha kan nei chin na which one to what artist kan to
Lamang an sabang mulberry mo. Oh, mulberry ko po na dita.
Isa chin ni mulberry 18 na ni mo. Thing thei mo ra 18 na.
Kami jang kanin po.
Lagi suwa ka mo.
Oh.
Kami la i we present and we fleta ni chu. Da me ken tu ko mo da ni po cha.
Oh, kami panganga jang kanin he ko po na hana swak ta ni chu. Kami ko po na jang kanin kwa yar na hana. Hey, kami chazwa le mulberry.
So very moving.
So after the weekend, calculate the discharge or how much amount or how much volume water flowing within a second. So this is actually used as to record or to calculate the amount of water flowing in the river. So this is the basic principle. How much amount of water flowing in a second.
Hey, ADCP ni mo acoustic tuberculosis profiler ni. Ini hicu tui lui luang tam zong te na ni chu. Hemi a hian in maro chemi chu osam de leka hemi hi simple ho de kan ya. Aman hi NHP noya noi som ko ba kan leita. Hemi hi ADV an tia he poi lui luang te na tho ni. Lui luang tam zong te na tho ni hi noi som pa man bor bela ni he current meter ni ya. He basic pera. So ni hi no tia tam zong te la ni chu.
This will automatically
kan dong zong he kan la vek the ni chu pera na.
You use it for
Groundwater survey.
This one. And then after that, send from data center. And then after that, the WIMS, WIMC, the WIMS is WIMS portal is there.
Indian man. But there is a drawback.
Thấy đâu đang ra theo này. Cô cũng phải ngờ là từ na là thì every part of Mizoram mình biết anh thấy là biết anh ấp phải đấy chứ phải đâu Brick lian na ka enjat man nge.
Ini semua kan soal fin. In semua ayam tak asma pun ayam tak tahu.
Kaka enjat man nge.
Semua.
Semua interior bel ni ada ya.
Dah ka tes sinalu dah kali le tak iba kamu.
The other species is much bigger. It mainly eats small mammals, lizards, yes, and the other species of cobra that you have in the Mizoram is a king cobra.
I think that the age of this one is like maybe 2 or 3 months. Venomous snake in the world, actually. And their Latin name is Ophthalmophagus, so it means that they're feeding on...
Ophthalmophagus. So lar mga phone charge tiktak ania. Hari kala on daw. A charge controller hi charge control access atang kala kani. Kung aso lai solar tang son an charge ta mo he ta lo lu ta. So inverter tek po tinung ta. Tu na hianin helai om chuna hian current bang lo om chun kani. So like it kana
ta hianin hemi read hianin a root cha hianin oxygen transfer thena ability kha tumi oxygen sai tui ka kan tui chei Mizoram ma chana tamta em em chung vel chu mun khata hian kan luan tir ta bar screen a hianin thil al ashol thil kan waste shol wi kha then grid em bar khan lo filter ta chuan ta grid chamber a hianin a luan thak le khanin mong te khan kan luan tri ta chuta chuanin small particles ho kha anwaya thadu khan kan ti ta chuan tlai tang khanin settling tenga khan lu ta ta hianin thil mom vel kha achunga alang tin ta chu chuanin chu skimmer khanin kan ti fai ta chuan a hnuai khan slush kha organic waste mita mu tham si lo kha lo ta khoma chuan aeration tank hianin tui tlai mi tui kha lut le a chu chuanin ta hian oxygen kha kan supply a chu ta chuanin oxygen kan supply khanin aerobic bacteria kha lo choma chu chuanin organic waste tam tak kha lo ei fai ta ni chuan heta hianin clarified fire kan ti a hi chuanin tui kha lut thata heta hianin sludge activated sludge kan ti ho kha
choi thei thil chang le noya kha det ho thil choi thei ho kha lo ta fai
gravity phang khanin digester yan la
setting tank kan mi no clarify mi kha atak tom ta
chuan mi hi kan ti pui ta veka chuan ta hian anaerobic
choi ta
anaerobic bacteria kan in alo ei fire chu chen biogas te kha fuel la tan kan man thi te kha alo produce ta chuan like clarifier a tui kha chlorination aluta chlorination a hi chuan in chlorine emo chi show kan ti hi kan tela chu chuan in nitrogen compounds te phosphorus compounds le bacteria tam tak kha lo ei fire chu chuan in tui kha lo ti thiang him ta ni chuan hemi zong process kan ti zo khanin heta hian tui fresh water kha ta in alo om khom ta chuan in lai tang khanin man thei tur kha kan pam chho ta ni
chuan hemi kan tui chi to sai chu in sup nan te le eirong bol an cha tak che to in sup nan te in bol nan te chuan khuan chom nan te
nang manin siam me em school nge
government gm
champai
Sardan phim ko rawai kan lui ti bom lo Mizoram hian tu hi za 90% vele chu tu thiang hi tlang ve ania
Kita ka pani kan ngom
chuan chumi chu alo kha bana over fill le ha a flow nga chuan hetan teng ka hian alo luang lu tenga chu mihring ta na lakin alo luang chho kan pam chho mai dong kon he kan man ti hi solar energy ya kan ti ve kan ya ka chi kha solar kan ti kan chuan solar energy ka battery a kan alo
kami kha hei te lai tui pam po hian in tui pam khan in
Contain battery conservation of forested land for recharging groundwater here omsia chuan
groundwater a tam ni thingkung hi kan mamo tam em wa kan mamo na chan chu groundwater kan mamo wa ania groundwater hi ro aron sur te hianin khopui vela hian hanen tai lam khopuya ro aron sur kha chuanin eta kongpuya te khang vela khanin aluang ral mai mai surface ran water run off kha tam nu tukta ma ya chan chu thingkung vel ro lo tla lo timwang tu tura om lo wang khan khopui lama chuan invet te om tama kongpui te khami wang khanin tui lo ro ron sur kha o luang ral mai mai ma se ram ngo lam ve thunga chuanin ro ron sur khanin thingkung vel khanin ro heta rang na dewaron tlatur kha alo timwang ta na vel te po ne atna le o grass heng strap ho te khan ro na dewaron sur kha alo timuang ta leya azuk thing kha chonin dam te khanin azuk thing ta khatiani aron azuk thing khanin chon heng thingkung thenin zungan nei ta zung ho khanin portion siam ta khang tui kha por satang khanin heta leichunga hianin anjuk lut ta hi infiltration kan ti khania chonin heng tui zuk lut lang zel ta ma se lut lang theilo lo na chin kha lo om thin ta heng lut kan ti hawa heng a hena lut lang thei to lawa a lut lang thei to lawa wang khanin ruwa tui ho kha heng a lut lang thei na aquifer a khanin alo tling khom ta a lut lang thei lo na chunga khan chon khai heng hi ground water lo om dan ania chonin hemi ground water nei tur hi chonin ruwa sur lo dang
lo timuanga le dam taka lo ti theng tu kha kan mamwa chuan khami khan surface run off kha ti tem don ta chuan thingkung kan mamo na chan chu thingkung zung hian heta le chunga hian pores kha lo siam ta chu alu na tur tak kha ni ta chuan khami kha thingkung hi om lo ta se heta hian le chunga hian pores om to lo wanga om lo chuan run off ta wanga ani lo pon heta hian le chung ri la hian ata ro tui tang kan lo har sa do na
chu bang chuan in tui hum hal nan le heng kan tui reng kan hum hal nan thingkung vel hi afforestation
apoi mo tin ha
okay doctor
Are actually occurring within Indian plate, and the contact surface between the two, the status of it is kind of ambiguous. We do not know much about it. They are occurring across it, and they are occurring below it. Right? So all these earthquakes are basically essentially intra-slab earthquake. These are not interplate earthquake. That's what we understand about from the earthquake history in the sea. You also, now if you look at the big earthquakes here, the major earthquakes here, the last big earthquake or the major earthquake which occurred here in the wedge area there was an earthquake in 1760 because the rupture of it extended up to the coastal area, and that's why it also caused a tsunami. It killed a few people, and its magnitude is considered to be almost like major. So it was not a great earthquake probably, but somewhere 7.5, 7.6 magnitude earthquake. That's what they put for the 1760 earthquake. Great earthquake in 1950, which is in Assam, Arunachal essentially. That's a typical Himalayan earthquake. So it has nothing to do, again these two earthquakes have nothing to do with Indo-Burmese wedge. In the known history here is probably the 1869 earthquake, which is known as Kachar Valley earthquake, and it caused quite a lot of damage. If you go to area around Silchar, you will find a lot of historical structures damaged by because of this earthquake. All these earthquakes are basically intra-slab earthquake, which occurred at depth more than 30 kilometers.
In these villages practice agriculture as their major livelihood, and wherein shifting cultivation is the dominant form of agriculture. However, in the recent decades, Karanchum oil palm plantation, Arakanat and tea plantation, and in each land use type, soil samples were collected from two depths, 0 to 10 and 10 to 20 centimeters. Of this permanent settlement of tea, oil palm, Arakanat. These are the methods that I have class, and then a portion of the fresh soil sample were used to analyze pH and moisture content, and the other portion were kept and were left to dry in the air and then sift through 0.2 and do again sift for the estimation of the other soil parameters. Laboratory analysis of the soil was performed following the standard procedures. So these are the parameters that were analyzed, and these are the methods being followed. Primary forest, which is in the core area of the urbanism. This is the secondary forest. Current June, this is the plantation of the oil palm plants, and this is the plantation. Found to be lower in the upper depths in all the land use types as compared to the lower depth. The lowest bulk density value was observed in the primary forest and the highest in the tea plantation. Then the soil texture analysis revealed that the soils of Dampa Tiger Reserve belonging to the sandy textural class.
Positive side, negative side. Positive side negative side. Positive side.
Annihilation process and scattering process, or this process was not well understood. Bhabha took it up and did his all. There's a huge calculation. So this is for which he is very much well known. This is an institution called Bhabha Atomic Research Center. Well, I'm proud to say that this picture was forwarded to me by one gentleman called Sobhit Bhattacharya. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm his teacher. So cannot copy anything from. If you remember this picture, it's called Cyrus, in which you have just seen, because it is a round one. So that is why the wall outside this one is not a square one; it is a round one. So that is why I pointed out that Bhabha is standing in front of a round wall. So that is in Cyrus. So the one I just show you, this one, globe one, is called Cyrus. That was the first reactor that Bhabha created or established in 1950 or 60s, something like that. That is called Dhruva. The Dhruva is 100% indigenous. That reactor is 100% indigenous. They are well connected through the tunnels outside over there. This is not exactly what is done in BRC, but to understand what. This is a new picture. This is a RC of BRC.
There is research projects which are going on. We at NARI conducted a small-scale pilot investigation of the kit, whether it's good or bad, among 100 clinic attendees. And we also did and simultaneously we took interviews to understand how the participants felt about the kits. And we did get a sensitivity, good sensitivity of 95% and 83.3% specificity. Yes.
This which one you were talking about, the saliva or the blood test?
What we did was on saliva. Test kits are for both blood-based as well as saliva-based. Both the type of self-test kits are available worldwide. Like in the United States, it has been recognized and they're easily available.
Why the specificity is low?
The specificity is low is because of the probably number of negatives it was also reviewed by our staff. So otherwise the sensitivity and specificity was very high when it came to the clinic. Get it from the perspective of the user, end user, because the quality of the kits were good, but end user approach of understanding whether the result was positive or negative is something which matters when it's a self-test. So that is one.
Did we compare it with the ELISA positive?
Yes, absolutely. It was compared.
Then what was the sensitivity?
No, it was compared with that. That's how we got the sensitivity of 95% and 83%. Among youth in Aizawl Municipal Corporation area of Mizoram. This was initiated in September 2022. And we have conducted the phase 1 where the 36 key informant interviews were undertaken. To be there. There should be social media platforms should be used for creating the kind of questions that we did get from our participants also, the key informants, that they were talking about apprehensions, about pre-test and post-test counseling not being there. We use an HIV self-test kit right now here in the market. In spite of having our interviews done in October, we have still not started our phase 2. among the youths.